The number of men is 5/8 of the number of women working in a factory. Let's make sure you really understand how to interpret that fraction 5/8. How do we turn it into units representing the number of men and units representing the number of women? So what we know is that there's a number of women. We don't know how many, but we know that there's only 5/8 of that number of men. So let's use the clue given to us by that fraction to figure it out. So if we know that the number of men is 5/8 of the number of women, why don't we draw units that can be divided into 8? Let's use that denominator that's given to us to draw a unit, a number of units that's divided up into 8, like that. So here's a bar graph made up of 8 units representing the number of women. So now it makes it a lot easier for us to figure out how many units represent men. Well, if there are 8 units of women, and we know that there are 5/8 as many units of men, then we know that we can represent the number of men using 5 units. 5 units. And now you can easily see that the ratio of women to men, so women to men, or rather let's say number of women to number of men, is 8:5. Now, what is the question? They want to know if there are 24 more women than men, how many workers are there altogether? So what do we need to pay attention to? We need to look at how many units there are more of women than men, first of all, and we can see that here. So if we cut it off right here, we can see that there are 3 units here that women have that men don't. So 3 units more of women than men. And then we are also told that, I'm just going to make a line here to separate our calculations, that there are 24 more women than men. So that's how we know that those 3 units represent 24 people. Now, how many people are represented by 1 unit? How do we get from 3 units to 1 unit? We divide by 3, and then we'll have to divide the other side by 3 as well. I'm just going to write people here. So then we will discover that 1 unit is worth 24 divided by 3 is 8 people. Oops, people. And now the question is, how many workers are there altogether? Well, how many units do we have altogether? We have 8 units of women. We have 5 units of men. So we have 13 units altogether. Each unit is worth 8 people, as we discovered. 13 times 8 is 104, and that is how many workers there are altogether in the factory.